Okay, yo, hey, what's going on? Take your more here. Like and subscribe. So, dreams, the wedding of our dreams. Okay, so the dreams wedding. OMG. So, I don't know, but myself, when I think of our brand spaces owners, dream wedding, it has to just be something really simplistic. It has to be something like that's kind of sort of traditional, not too far away from the norm, like being able to say, hey, Pastor Mating, that's our brand spaces owners, pastor at Providence, well, from our church, which is Providence Baptist Church. Okay. And so you'll just say, hey, call up there. This is Sister Antasia. I'm looking to figure out what is some availability for these particular dates. I have someone in mind that is getting ready to take the next step with myself in our relationship. What is it that we need to do? There's some classes or courses. Okay, good, great. I might need to grab a wardrobe for that. I might want to come across sophisticated while I sit there and figure out what our vows are going to sound like. What is necessarily modes of behavior that I need to conduct before I actually walk down the aisle. So these outfits will convey these messages. And so then I'll start to collect the necessary pieces to make sure this day goes smoothly, and at least as smoothly as possible. Because when I think about what this feels like, especially as we get our fathers into this role. So our fathers are so adamant. I have a book that I wrote, and I believe this one is in The Woman Who Got Stabbed, and it is available online, the Barnes and Noble. And all you have to do is just put in my name. And I believe it's in one of the collection of stories. I want to say either the collection, the Light of Flame Candles one. And I'll double check it, and I will put the link in the description box below. And so fathers is where you realize that sometimes women really struggle. They really have some thoughts that go on and take place, and as they go out and about and they deal with other women, and they may kind of sort of have problems and things like that, and we can kind of look back as to, well, why is it that this particular young lady is acting this way? And there's a link between this behavior and the father figure. And this is why some of these women may necessarily be a little less inclined to get along with others, and it's because of their father. And so you had to kind of sort of realize that maybe somebody missed a step when maybe they went right and it was best to have gone left, or maybe they went left and it was best to have turned right. And so, again, fathers hold a particular idea in mind in their daughter's world, especially when it comes to the wedding season. The wedding season is so adamant. And even Jamie Foxx had a really good example of this, how he was really sick, but his daughter was getting ready to walk down the aisle for the wedding season that she found herself in, or that this particular young lady was in. And this particular entity at that point in time needed her dad to actually carry out this particular ideal. So there's a really great sentiment that falls on our father. So check out our prior video, which was the wedding season. And I discussed the role of the father and how we get to bounce back so many times. But if the father is in a weakened state, it's harder. So the young lady has to kind of sort of jump from the groom to the father, who's weakened now, to whoever's the necessarily, so to speak, the predecessor from even the bride's father figure, which is difficult. How many great grandfathers are there that's still alive? I know our own brand spaces owner, myself, I have yet to have that full-fledged experience of really getting to know them. And I am like having bits and pieces of memories of them and their love and their thoughts and their thinking patterns and things like that. And so you have to cherish those, because it's not many, it's not very often. And so dream weddings as females definitely revolves around their father figures. Their father figures play a pivotal role in carrying out this day successfully. And that means that every bride envisions her father taking care of her, spoiling her, being there for all of the wins, every graduation that she's just worked her butt off tail end to push through, And when the day hits and we're there and we're looking around and dad's there and dad's happy, we are so happy. And that's ultimately what it's about. And by the time we really are like, okay, cool, dad's here, everything's smooth, I don't have no issues, everything flow, we straight. And so then you feel the same with your hubby. Hubby is so adamant to our bride's successes. Every time that he shows up, or every single time that the bride and the groom are able to feel like, okay, one another is showing up appropriately for its other party, something goes into a whole new level. We've elevated, we've gone upward, and that's what we want. That's ultimately what parents want for their children, bride and or groom. And then that's why it's so difficult when we realize that we're disrespecting some of our males and some of our men. It's so unattractive. And that's why it's oftentimes also so very scary, because you realize how true that grooms have feelings, men have feelings, and grooms have feelings, and women have to abide by what it is that they see, even men's feelings. And just because they are there, that doesn't mean that we get to disrespect them. So I just want us to really understand it. So I encourage you all to check out that video. I go into a little bit of a different angle with dealing with that particular idea. All right. Anyway, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all again soon. Have a good day. Bye.